Hi folks, this is all the fruit and I'm on the way to continue my journey to the fruit-rich areas in the south of West Kalimantan. I said a couple bad things about my losman in, what was it, Malawi, but to be honest, the guy, he tried to warn me that this is a place for normal people, not for people like me. And he meant not for like rich people like me. And to be honest, he put new sheets on the bed, brand new sheets. And he didn't even complain when my stupid ass forgot the key inside the room. And the place is actually, well, reasonably clean as it can be at that age. No pests. I had 1 or 2 mosquitoes, but no ants, no roaches, no rats in the room. So I shouldn't complain. For €2.34 or $2.53, that's quite a reasonable price. I didn't get robbed. I didn't get in trouble. So let's see what the market of this nice town has to offer. Next, let's drop the backpack at our favorite little shack. The market is 100 times more alive in the morning. Let's see if I'll find my jungle rambutan somewhere. That's where the good stuff is, in those plastic bags somewhere around the market. The most informal market I've visited in a long time. Oh yeah. Kubal, Gandaria, different jungle mangoes, and here, finally, some jungle rambutan, hairless rambutan. Kubal seems to be quite popular around here. Interesting. I seem to be the first white person to have ever visited this market, or at least in the last 10 or 20 years. You can see this from the fact, not that they are filming and photographing me all the time, that will happen to you at most Southeast Asian markets outside the tourist areas, but because the prices are still not divided into local prices and white people prices. I think that I would find just villages here, and instead found a nice little city. It sucks having to catch a bus while exploring a really great market, but I will be back totally. I think that I would find just villages here, and instead found a nice little city. It sucks having to catch a bus while exploring a really great market, but I will be back totally. The bus station is one of many things in this town which surprises me. Yes, this is the main entrance. Oh yeah, and yes, this is the main bus parking area, and yes, this is the bus I'm planning to take. Well, conversing with the station boss, I learned 3 things. Firstly, it's 6 hours to Sokan village. Oh, actually 4 things. Secondly, the road's gonna be like this all the way. Thirdly, because of all this, the price is surprisingly high. And fourthly, this really classy, modern aircon bus, durian dilarang dalam. No durian allowed inside. That means that I have to hurry to eat my last Durio Oxyleanos. Oh, Well. No need to take it out of the plastic bag first. Eating durian like a savage. Durioxyleanos, one of my favorite jungle durian species. In an act of petty revenge, I throw the durian peels and seeds in front of her desk. Doesn't seem that a lot of housekeeping is being done around here. Two things you never take for granted in Indonesia are running water and plumbing. Well, for washing my hands, they had a bucket, well, actually a big pail of rainwater. Guess where you do your business. Those are clean people. Nobody, except maybe some drunk at night, would dare pee in a random place. The toilets are down there. Okay, let's see if I gonna survive this. Already slipping. I should have taken my Adidas kampung here. Well, shouldn't complain. All those people taking the strip 10 times a day, each time they need to pee. Well, you built a city, yes. You built electricity, yes. You have cars and cell phones, yes. But running water and plumbing takes a bit more money, so you wanna pee? Yes. You wanna pee? You go to the river. Everything you need. 4 walls to hide you from prying eyes. A roof to hide you from the rain. Modern locking mechanisms on the door. You just move this little plank. Plumbing. And yeah, since they don't use toilet paper in Asia, you wash your butt with that little thing, with some teeth stop rope, with the water which is being provided freely. Or is it rather for free? Well, it's freely and for free. At least nobody has ever tried to charge me for one of those river toilets. Also, those river rafts already sold their whole ecosystems here. I could start botanizing, but my bus officially left 2 minutes ago. Not that they're on time here, but still, let's not exploit their kindness too much. Let's rush back slowly and carefully. I guess there was no need to rush. The bus is still being loaded. The bus is also the main supplier of small amounts of everything. I'm particularly thrilled when they transport tons of those gas bottles on a bumpy road. Recently I learned that actually gas bottles plus a nice metal pipe make for a wonderful howitzer. And what is a bus loaded with gas bottles called like? Let's ask some of our Middle Eastern allies. One excellent modern service the 21st century has brought to Indonesia, this one has been repaired with screws, is the cell phone charging station in some coffee shops. Usually the ones frequented by young boys who play all day and night. Yeah, this is one high quality modern service other countries should adopt too. I'm noticing that I'm not doing almost any fruit hunting in this video. Well, let's hunt a little bit from the bench. At first we have a guava plant, lots of chilies behind it, a papaya plant, not tree, macasivo. Behind the chilies, an eggplant. We call this type Japanese eggplant. They call it Chinese eggplant or normal eggplant around here. However, when you look at the quantities of everything, it seems that chilies are the main staple. You know, like when I was younger and still had a couple pots on my windowsill, I did basically the same. No, I did not have chilies, but I planted the spices there because, yeah, eggplants, you would need quite a lot of eggplants for a regular supply, but I guess even an Indonesian family should be happy with this amount of red hot chili peppers. Also, there is something I didn't film in a hurry this morning. I forgot that I have a little bottle full of sugar palm juice. I had it in my backpack, and that's the reason I'm using this nice red plastic bag instead now. Well, sugar palm juice, it doesn't matter if it's sugar cane juice or new cider or anything that's fermenting, it's releasing CO2. So such a bottle, even though it will hold water, will not hold a fermenting liquid because it's escaping from the cracks. And so a lot of the fermenting liquid escaped into my little backpack, which I had to wash this morning because it's soaked in fermenting palm juice all night. And that's why I have this stylish, cute, red accessoire. And yeah, that's botanical knowledge and almost fruit knowledge, because what is sugar juice other than fruit juice? I planned to ride on top of the bus, which is usually great fun, but right now I'm kinda reconsidering. I planned to ride on top of the bus, which is usually great fun, but right now I'm kinda reconsidering. When I asked the beautiful bus station boss here in the foreground, Amoy Chantik, about the age of the buses and suggested they could be around 50 years old, she got a bit agitated and said, "Of course not, they are just 10 years. Umur berapa, Ibu? Umur bis?" 10 tahun.
Kalau saya 58.
Hah?
Ini 58 umur saya.
40.
58.
58.
Masih cantik kan?
Oh, okay. She is not shy about her age, 58, but she insists that her buses are not even teenagers yet, 10 years old. To me, they look like they have already looked like this when I was born. Come on, you can do that. Oh, well, surprisingly comfortable inside. I still do not believe the 10 years. Always do as the locals do. I've noticed in warm countries, the tourists sit on the sunny side of the bus, the locals always on the shady side. Not the side which is shady at the station, the side which is shady throughout most of the road. Here I noticed that everybody and their mothers sit in front. Since most of the trip is gonna be over dirt roads according to Google, I guess the back is gonna get a bit shaky. And okay, we made it out of the station alive. Let's soak in some more city feelings before we get on the dusty, on the muddy roads. Here a very interesting use of old oil palm bunches for landscaping. They are putting them under those ornamental herbs, under those flowers. I wonder what they do. Well, probably cover the ground so that it doesn't dry up so fast. But interesting. I've never seen this yet. It's good to see that they find ways to deal with the tropical soil and the tropical climate that can remove nutrients very fast from the soil and also can change very fast between dry and wet. Oh, I don't know this fruit market so much about it. I think that this town is a village because it has no markets. It totally does have markets and a lot of fruit too. This ultra-modern bus is struggling even with small potholes and with slight inclines in the road. I don't know whether it's gonna be able to master all those mucky dirt roads ahead. Thus, quite poor secondary vegetation and the forest of Baltic posters. But there in the background seems to be a low hill covered with better quality forest. Maybe that's what the Dayak on the market referred to when they said that some of the fruits are from the jungle. This here is no jungle. This is really poor secondary vegetation on bad soil. All the plants, especially the selection of ferns, show that this is low quality soil. Not many fruits on the trees. Yeah, there are rambutan trees mainly. But all the rambutans I'm seeing around here, all the trees I'm seeing around here are normal rambutan trees. Also there is water apple, from time to time a mango. But not much else which is in season. Let's hope that further south it's gonna get better. Very poor vegetation, almost no visible fruits, rubber plantations. This fern which shows poor soil is everywhere. The bracken fern which shows better soil can be seen here and there in the lower areas. But definitely this other fern whose name I don't know dominates. Farming of this soil is possible, but I guess it's hard work. It's a panorama in 150 meters. Oh, so funny. They made the big fence so that you have to pay to get the panorama. They thought I could show you some nice, not jungle but secondary forest panorama, but it seems that it has already been commercialized. Huge caoutchouc plantations here, and this caoutchouc plantation over there has already been slashed and burned to make a hill paddy. I guess even here caoutchouc starts not to be able to cut it. In Malaysia it hasn't been profitable for like 10 years already. Around here it was still going strong, but if they slash and burn the caoutchouc plantations to plant rice, that's not a good sign for the caoutchouc industry. A slope covered with bracken, that seems this is quite good soil, but you cannot see it very well. But beneath it they have planted bananas, so it cannot be too bad. This type of agriculture is not sustainable. Puny rubber plantations, secondary vegetation. Here in the foreground an oil palm plantation. I think they will have to start doing some more sophisticated stuff. They need to grow a lot of fabaceae and other plants which will fix nitrogen. Like when you look at the plant or at the human, well, most of it is made up of water, then you have carbon. Carbon can be obtained by plants from the air through photosynthesis. That's not a problem. Nitrogen is a big problem. That's why you use a lot of nitrogen fertilizer on poor soil. But bacteria can fix nitrogen from the air, and here they sure need it. And when this is done, you still have a lot of stuff like phosphorus and micronutrients. Well, the road starts getting funky. Phosphorus and micronutrients, and I think those you have to introduce here through artificial fertilization. Here you see a bunch of hill. I think this is again an oil palm. No, this is again a rubber plantation. It has been slashed and burned for a hill paddy, for a dry rice field. If you destroy your cash crop in order to plant something you need for survival, that means you are not in a good place. I really wonder what the government agricultural institutions of this area say. Do they teach those farmers more sophisticated ways of agriculture? Because the way they are doing it right now, I really don't think it's sustainable. Another reason for riding on top of those buses is that you don't have to film through the windows, but right now I'm in a normal seat like everybody else, like a nice little passenger. See this area over there? It has been slashed already, but not burnt. They left the mango trees, but slashed all the caoutchouc trees. Yep. Yeah, caoutchouc gets you money with which you theoretically could buy enough rice and other food. But yeah, they are cutting down their cash crop in order to get a food crop. Yeah, as soon as food production gains a bigger role in the life of somebody, that means they are, well, food supply for themselves get a bigger role in the life of somebody. This shows that they are quite poor. Well, that's called the Engels law. You know Marx and his friend Engels, who actually fed him throughout his life. Engels said, check how much money people spend for food. The poor people spend less money for food, but they spend a bigger percentage of their money for food. That's the law of Engels. And you can apply it to agriculture. If people produce a lot of cash crops and buy their food in the supermarket, usually they are quite well off. If they produce mostly stuff to eat themselves and are not able to buy a lot of food in the supermarket, that means they are usually quite poor. Although you might argue that self-sufficiency is also a good thing. You stupid dogs! Well, all the dogs on the street show that we are in a Christian Dayak village. But also those stupid dogs just playing and lying on the street. That's why there are dead dogs everywhere around here. Yeah. In Indonesia and Malaysia, if you want to know who is inhabiting the village, if there are cows, sheep and goats, it's usually a Muslim village. If they are dogs, and sometimes you can't even see pigs, it's a Christian village. The Muslim people will usually be Melayu, Javanese, Sundanese, those all closely related ethnicities. The Christian people will be mostly Dayak, who are also mostly from the Melayu language family, but not that closely related to the Melayu and Sundanese and Javanese. Well, I mean, you could also look whether there is a church or a mosque in the village, but there are more animals than churches and mosques. So the hilltops could be good quality jungle. The stuff nearby clearly isn't. This is pure secondary forest. But after on the hilltops, when the big logging companies came through decades ago, they often did not log very steep or very high or very steep and high areas. So sometimes on the hilltops you find islands of good forest, which I cannot show you here because the bus is quite low windows. Well, here it is. The higher areas have not been slashed and burnt. That's why it's called hill paddy. Even if the hills are tall and steep, if the soil is okay, you plant rice. However, I don't think the soil is too good. The rice is still too low, too short. The new cash crop is oil palm. It seems to bring a lot more money than the caoutchouc. Descending a precarious hill. I really wonder if there's gonna be dirt roads at the end and how this bus is gonna master them. If it has trouble at a not too steep hill, dry weather. In the background, I can see a couple juggle hills in the far distance. This is the huge tentacle of the heart of Borneo, which stretches basically hundreds of kilometers to the west, almost to the coast, between the giant locked areas in West Kalimantan and in what is the other Central and South Kalimantan. There are still huge juggles here, not on the nearby hills but on the faraway hills. And since all the fruits in Sintang came from this area, I hope for a rich and diverse harvest for myself. This is some larger enterprise able to afford the bulldozer, so I guess this is going to become a commercial oil palm plantation, and a pretty large one too. By the way, this severely pruned tree is a tropical cherry, and behind it a guava, behind it a rambutan. Black pepper, interesting, I haven't seen a black pepper plantation around here. Matwa, or crystal fruit. What is this? I guess a rambutan which is out of season. Here we have the tropical cherries, but they are not in season yet. Oh, and I hit my back so hard on those stupid fan. Not nice. Oh, wait. Why did you fly away? Here, I think this is a little stingless honeybee, a dwarf honeybee. Those are, well, small, and they have no stingers, but the good thing about them is their honey comes in quite big portions, not in little honeycombs, but in nice little honey pots the size of walnuts. Well, honey is made from nectar, from sugar nectar from the flowers, and this is quite plentiful around here. But you know what's in short supply so far inland? Salt. That's why this thing is really keen to get my sweat. Yeah, salt so far inland, and in a constantly hot and humid tropical climate is very difficult to obtain. Okay, a little mistake. This is not gonna be an oil palm plantation. They say it's gonna be a taman wisata, so some sort of nice park or public garden. Too late, I missed it already. Well, I want this really poor, really low, really not so dense rice paddy. There was something that looked like millet. I've never seen millet around here, but this looked like millet. But I didn't manage to get it on the video. The road is constantly being maintained. Good job. Oh well, I guess it's gonna be a good job when it's finished. Here a wet rice paddy for a change. This is like the standard rice field we know from the rest of Asia, in a flat, flooded area. Around here, well, they do have wet paddies when they have wet flat plains, but hill paddies are much more common in the mountains of Kalimantan. A hill paddy on a basically vertical slope. I start to spot some quite good forest here and there. It might not be pristine rainforest, but some that is nicely recovered. And it's crazy that you have to go so far into remote areas of Kalimantan or Borneo to get. Well, Kalimantan is the Malaysian part of the island, Borneo Kalimantan is the Indonesian part of the island, Borneo the Malaysian part. It's crazy that you have to go so far to see good quality juggle. But in the last 3 to 4 decades, the deforestation speed in Borneo/Kalimantan has been the highest in the world, higher than in Africa, higher than in Brazil, higher than anywhere else. So first Malaysia cut a lot of their forests in the 70s, 80s, 90s and early 2000s, and then Indonesia in the 2000s, 2010s. Nobody has destroyed more rainforest in such a short time than those two countries. That's why it's quite difficult to find good quality rainforest if you don't want to go really, really far into the interior or really high up tall hills and mountains. Here you can better see a wet paddy wherever the opportunity arises. So I guess we gotta stop here to eat. Well, what I wanted to show you is a wet paddy. This is basically the way rice is being cultivated throughout Asia, except in the Borneo Mountains, where the Borneo Hills and mountains where dry paddies abound. Also, you might wonder who is living in this little wooden hut covered with plastic and who is living in this nice high-rise over there. I guess the owner is living in the little wooden hut, and in the high-rise he has swiftlet birds, which are bred for their apparently tasty bird's nests. Here in the background on the high hill there seems to be still some quite good quality jungle. I guess this toilet is already occupied. Might to look away while I take a quick leak. This seems to be a tropical, what was it called? Praying mantis. Yeah, pray, don't look. Although the forest here seems to be some sort of mix of, caoutchouc plantation and secondary vegetation. However, it is quite tall and seems to be rich, at least in nutrients. And the stuff with the big leaves, this is some sort of artocarpus, but I don't see a single fruit on it. Tiny town on the way. I wonder if there is something special around here, or if they just need a town every 30-40 kilometers for a couple shops. Maybe there are some little gold fields around here, or some fork in the road, or maybe they just need a place to put the people. Indonesia, like Malaysia, has the policy to bring millions of people to Kalimantan and settle it, because Java and some of the smaller islands are overpopulated. Java has more population than all of Great Britain, or all of Germany, or even all of Japan, or even all of Russia. While Kalimantan used to be quite empty except for like a couple 100,000 or maybe 1 million Dayak, and now they have many millions of Javanese and other Indonesian people here. But I still wonder, when I see a little town in the middle of nowhere, why exactly here? What was the reason? Was it an agricultural reason, a mining reason, an infrastructure or traffic reason? For now, I cannot see, I cannot recognize any reason. And another hill where the higher slopes seem to be covered with good quality jungle. Around here those are small, pockets or small peaks of good quality jungle, but ahead they are gonna be bigger areas. Villagers are getting more and more adventurous. And also here some nice river figs. However, this is a different species from the one I've seen the last days. Fruits are smaller and the leaves are bigger, and I hope you saw it for 1 second, because I'm not going back. It's gonna be fun! Wow. Also, it seems that the road is until, this was just a little piece of dirt road. I don't even know where we are now, but it seems we are in another tiny town / small village. A lot of small shops / coffee shops. So much about the good road. There are at least 2 towns ahead. I wonder if we'll get a good road again, or it's gonna be quite an adventure from now on. Road is getting more and more adventurous. Well, maniok and some fabaceae vine on the other side, both invasive. Here to the left is huge 3-meter grass. I see it everywhere, so I guess it's also invasive. More caoutchouc plantations ahead. Uh-oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so much fun, especially once we reach the other side. I mean, this guy is going here every day, so I'm sure he knows his job. Oh yeah, he knows his nose job. The little town of Kotabaru does have a bus station. Oh, huh? Kotabaru, New York. Well, and also it's dominated by countless high-rises inhabited by swiftlet birds. It does have a fruit and veg market, but unfortunately, it's far away from here. Also the name, well, we might think that all those British, they are so boring by calling all their cities New York, New London and so on, or the Spanish with giving all their cities around the world biblical religious names, so that basically all the places in Latin America are named the same. Well, none of them is as lazy as the Indonesians. They founded a new city and just called it New Town. Yeah, that's what Kotabaru means, New Town. And why is the freaking market so far away? I want fruits. I don't know why everybody at the bus station is watching me. Is the bus gonna just leave without me as soon as I go around the corner? Also inside the town, some of the roads are actually concrete or asphalt roads. But I guess when we leave this town, crap's gonna hit the fan, literally. At least both Civetinus and Cutienses seem to be at least slightly in season here. The white man is coming back to the old bus station, and of course everybody is interested. Huh? Sokan, sokan. Makan, makan. Catch, bang. Huh? Yeah, you catch. Okay, you. That gets them every time. Oh, hi. Bule. Hai bule. Apa kabar bule? Orang putih. Oh, nice.
Cucu.
Oh, ada bule di kota ini. Baguslah. You did not even let me finish my durian on the station. However, I guess this rule, no durian in the bus. It's a bit flexible at times. Not fully right, but that's what I suspected when I smelled the faint smell. Nice view, that's for sure. Are those volcanic hills, or why are they so pointy? Eating durian is always a messy business, especially in a moving bus. Yes, I know the bus has stopped. It's easier to film and eat when it stops for a moment. Cattle ahead. That's a sign that there is a Muslim population in town. For some reason, the Borneo Dayak, most of them adopted Christianity, but it seems none of them adapted this ruminant husbandry. We have quite a lot of cow pastures. Oh, and so much about the good city road. Fruit cutting is so much more fun when your fingers and toes are at risk. This thing is not properly ripe anyways. But the road is becoming more and more fun, and the traffic not really getting any lighter. It's interesting to see that everything like buses and trucks are quite smallish here. In Malaysia, they are usually much bigger. A lady threshing the rice with bare feet. Never seen this before. And here in the lowlands, it seems that wet paddies are the norm. Well, probably because firstly because we're in the lowlands, also because most of the people should be immigrants from Java, where wet paddies are more common and dry paddies less common than in Kalimantan. Yeah, another nice bag. Wonder if the bus is getting clean or dirty in those puddles. This has not only something to do with the abilities of the driver, sometimes it's just too much. Oh. And despite we being basically taking up 100% of the road, there was a biker who tried to overtake us from one side. Now that's gonna be big. Here he is again, even with the child on the back, that it matters. Took a more advantageous position for my legs, well, and also for filming. Also, since food porn is about as popular as food porn nowadays, I want to remark that when I looked at the feet of the people around here, my feet resemble a lot the feet of older Dayak who used to walk barefoot for decades. Well, I also used to walk barefoot for decades, so I guess my feet kind of fit the local tribal style. Huge piles of durian on the riverbank. That's good. Till now I only saw small amounts. Huge piles mean a good season. Huge piles of Durios Tibetinos could also mean a lot of wild jungle durians around here. Right around here. And now, no, I'm not filming so much the puddles here. There is a big mango tree ahead. I still cannot see how old it is. Does it have a really thick trunk? See, this is some type of jungle mango, not sure which one. Yes, it's pretty old with a pretty big trunk, but nothing exceptional. Slightly over a meter, I would say. Just so Durio Cotuenses and Langsat. That's good, that's good. We are approaching, we are at an area with fruit season. That's very good. It might not be such a striking overabundant fruit season as in the Syrian region, but it seems to be a decent one. Yep, finally after well over 5 hours of endless grinding, we arrive in Sokan, and the boss of the bus station looks exactly the same. Did she come with the bus or do they clone them somewhere? Well, you tell me. Is this the same one or does she just look the same? There is also a market, which coincidentally is on the other side of the river.